Alright, Shalom, this is your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. I'm just going to get right into it. This is Ephesians 6 and 13. It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahawah." So that's going to be necessary for us to go through these things that we got to go through. You can't be partial in this thing, man. You gotta be fully armored. That's what the scripture says, the whole armor. We read that back again. It says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahawah, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." So that whole armor, man. So you can't have one piece of missing armor on you. You gotta be girded from head to toe. So what does that mean? That means full commitment. That means full focus. That means full effort. If you want to put it plainly, that's what the scripture says right there. And having done all to stand. So your full effort, your full commitment, your full focus is required of you. I'm gonna read that back again. Ephesians 6 and 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahawah. It said the whole armor, man. That's the key word. That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. Because that's going to be required of you to withstand that evil day. And having done all to stand. And what does that mean? That means you put forth your maximum effort. And as you read through the verses, it tells you how to put on that whole armor. It talks about truth. It talks about righteousness. It talks about the gospel. It talks about the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the word. And then it also mentions prayer. So prayer is part of our armor. Going to verse 18, praying always all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So prayer is a big part of it, and watching is a big part of it. That being circumspect, man. So we went to the last video talking about readiness. This is going into that same subject, man. You gotta be fully what's the word I'm trying to get? You gotta be fully invested in this thing, man, in this truth. With that, I'm gonna get 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, because the scriptures make it plain and clear, what the elect's mentality is gonna be. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, Salakia, that ain't it. I was 2 Corinthians 9 and 6, Salakia. "But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully." So whatever you put into this truth is what you're going to get out of it, man. If you're putting a half-ass effort, then you're going to get half-ass protection, but basically none. But if you're putting in a full effort, then the Lord's going to put in his full effort to make sure that you're all right, man. It's just common sense when it all comes down to it. With that, I want to get Isaiah 35 and 4, I think it is. It's a real quick lesson. Once again, this is Isaiah 35 and 4, and it says, "Say to them that are fearful heart, be strong, fear not." So we gotta put away that fearful heart, that fearful mind. We gotta have a mind of confidence, of faith in these last days, man. That's putting off the old man, because the old man's gonna have that fearful, doubting mind state, man. That weak mentality. What does the scripture say? Proverbs 24:10. It says he that I'll just go ahead and get it. Proverbs 24 and 10. And it says, "Thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." So so if you're not fully armored, like we read it in Ephesians, if you're not fully armored, if you're not at full strength, you're gonna faint in that day of adversity, man. So that makes a whole lot of sense right there. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians 6 and 9. And what does 2 Corinthians 6 and 9 say? It says if whatever you put into it, that's what you're gonna get out of it, basically speaking. Or is it 6? Yeah, kind. No, that ain't it. I think it's 9 and 6. Yeah, Khan. 2 Corinthians 9 and 6. "But this I say, he which sown sparingly shall reap also sparingly. He which sowed bountifully shall reap also bountifully," man. So full effort, once again, is the theme here. Full effort is required, man. The scripture talk about being a cold, hot, or lukewarm, and lukewarm is going to get spit out the mouth of the Lord. So the Lord doesn't deal with half-asses, man. So if you're a man of this truth, if you're a man that's been called to do this work, guess what, man? Full requirement and full commitment is required of you, man. Let's get to Isaiah 35:4. This is Isaiah 35 and Salaki 4. It says, say to them that are fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your power will come with vengeance, even Yahawah with a recompense. He will come and save you. So that's a promise that we have to hold on to. What I'll start at verse 3. It says, strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are fearful heart, be strong, fear not. So let's stop right there, man. So basically, we have to have a different mentality than the rest of the world is, because this world doesn't have a faith. It doesn't have a confidence in these scriptures, man. That's why they're part of the world. They rely and trust on the things of the world, man. That will make them weak. That will make them feeble. That will make them fearful. But if you're a man of the Lord and you believe in the scriptures, you're gonna be strengthened. You're gonna be confirmed. You're gonna be a strong mentality, man. Because you're gonna hold on to these promises. Instead, I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes 3:12, and we all know this one, but this is the mind state, man. This is the mind state that we have to be in. This is Ecclesiastes 3:12, or Colossians, however people say it. It's Colossians 3:12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of Yahawah. So that's the mentality, man. That's the character that you gotta possess for yourself. Holy and beloved, bowls of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering. That describes the characteristics of the elect: merciful, kind, humble, meek, long suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even Yahawashi forgave you, also do ye. Forgiving. Above all, put on charity. We know that word charity, if you look into the blue letter, it goes into brotherhood, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of Yahawah rule in your minds, which you also call in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Yahawah dwell in you richly. So that's one of the characteristics of the elect, man. So this is the things that we gotta do to put on the elect. Let the word of Yahawah dwell in you richly, so fully, So this word, being in this word is important. In all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Most High. And whatsoever ye do in word and deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahawashi, giving thanks to Yahawah and the Father by Him. So Colossians 3, verses 12 to 17, it tells you how to put on the elect, man. So if you're wondering, well, how do I put on the elect? How do I do that, man? What characteristics, what mentality do I gotta have to put on the elect? Well, it's telling you right there, man. All the traits and characteristics that we should strive to attain, us being men of the Lord and called to do this work, man. Was that I want to get Psalms 59:5. This is Psalms 59:5, and it says, thou therefore, O Yahawah of hosts, the power of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen, be not merciful to any wicked transgressor. So that's what we hoping for. We hoping for the vengeance of the Lord, man, to go upon our enemies. That's one of our hopes, that the Lord's going to take care of our enemies. It says, awake to visit all the heathen, be not merciful to any wicked transgressor. So that's one of our hopes, man. That's what we hoping for. I'm going to jump down to verse 13. It says, consume them in wrath, consume them that they may not be, and let them know that Yahawah ruleth in Jacob and Israel unto the end of the earth. So that's our hope, man. That's going to happen. The heathen nations, they're going to know who the Israelites are, and they're going to know who the power of the Israelite is, which is Yahawah, the Heavenly Father, Yahawah BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, man. So that should give you that strength and that confidence right there, knowing that the Lord's got our back, man, against our enemies. The Lord's going to take care of our enemies, man. Because because we're going to need that in the times to come. Was that we're going to get Jeremiah 30:7? Because all the things that we're going through, and all the scriptures that tell us to do is to build us up to withstand the things that are coming, man. This is Jeremiah 30:7, and we know we all brothers always bring out this scripture. It says Jeremiah 30:7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So Israel shall be saved out of that Jacob's trouble. The elect's gonna be out of that, saved out of that Jacob's trouble, man. Because it's gonna be so great that the trouble is gonna be so great that it's gonna require salvation on high for us to be saved out of it, man. Instead, I'm gonna get Psalm 99. So that's why we gotta do this work and push, like push this word like we're supposed to, man. This is Psalms 9, and it said the Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. So what's gonna be our salvation? What's gonna be our redemption in that time of Jacob's trouble, in that day of adversity? Going back to Proverbs 24:10, it's gonna be the Lord, man. It's gonna be this word. Going back to knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times, man. So what does that tell you when you add precept upon precept? That tells you that being in this word is going to be our protection, man. This word is our protection. Then the promises and the supernatural relevance and superiority of this word is going to be our protection, man. Because we haven't seen the Lord face to face. We going by faith, man. By faith, we say that we're the Hebrew Israelites. By faith, you say you're the tribe of Judah or the tribe of Issachar. By faith, you say that America is going to be destroyed. By faith, you say that the Lord's going to just save us from these Edomites, and we know that they're coming for us, man. We do all things. We say all things by faith because we haven't seen none of these things. That's our hope. I'm gonna get that. Hope is a substance of things. Salaki, I'm gonna get it right now. Counters Hebrews 11:1 and says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So we haven't seen these things, man, but we're hoping for them. We're hoping for them. We haven't seen the Heavenly Father, man. We haven't in our present time and age. We haven't seen him, but we haven't seen YAHAWAHSHI. We're gonna see him, man. We haven't we don't have we doing all this by faith. In other words, man. That's what does the scripture say? The shield of faith above all. Going back to Ephesians, I'm gonna get that. Ephesians the 6th chapter. Slakia. This is Ephesians the 6th chapter. I'm trying to find verse 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith. And so faith is above all, man. Faith it rounds all the other characteristics out, man. Wherewith ye should be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. So faith is going to be our salvation in the time of Jacob's trouble. And faith is going to be our knowledge and wisdom and stability of our time, man. That faith. And that's what we going by right now. They call us, what do they call us, man? They call us faith-based, Salakia, faith-based Israelites, man. So that faith is very important, man. That belief, that confidence. And with that, I'm going to get 1 Kings 2:2. Because in these times and ages, in time and day, we have to have a certain way that we carry ourselves, man. Now this is when David was at his deathbed, and this is what he's saying to Solomon, which we know that is YAHAWAHSHI in the reincarnation. It says 1 Kings 2, and I'll start at verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh as he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth, be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. So that's what we got to. So he was required to show strength, to show himself a man. And I'm going to get the word man in the blue letter because it really goes into a real good description of that word. This is the word man in the blue letter. It says a man, male, husband, human being, servant, mankind, champion. So a champion, man. A champion is another word for the type of man that you have to be in this truth, man. I'm going to get the definition of that word champion. This is the definition of the word champion. It's the person who has defeated or surpassed all rivals in competition especially in sports. A person who fights or argues for a cause or on behalf of someone else will support the cause, defend. So the Lord's telling King David, the Lord, the Lord, not Salakia, King David is telling Solomon to be a man, to be a champion, to what? To support the cause, man. And it tells you, as we go on back to the verse, we're gonna get it right now. Salakia, so going back to the scripture, we're gonna read it, and this is 1 Kings 2:2. This is it's like in 1 Kings 2:1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be strong therefore, and show thyself a champion or a man. Because we just read in the blue letter, the word man goes back to the word champion. So King Solomon, King David is telling Solomon to show himself a man. And in verse 3, he breaks down what kind of man that is, what the definition of a man is according to the scriptures. And this is he breaks it down how to be that man. This is verse 3, and it says, and keep the charge of the Most High thy power to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, and his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper, and all that thou doest, and whatsoever thou turnest thyself. So that's how you be a man, by sticking to this word, that the Lord may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children will take their heed the way to walk before me in truth, with all their mind and with all their soul, they shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Israel. So that's the mentality that we gotta have, man. Verse 3 tells you right there how to be a man. So that's what it is. That's how we do it. That's the mentality we gotta have. That's the characteristics that we gotta, to the best of our ability, attain to put on the elect, man. With that being said, that was just a real quick lesson. Most I willing, I hope it was edifying. With that one said, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawahshi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawahshi, Shalom.